So what's happening here is this is actually my template. So a lot of the
Mm,
work has already been done for me. So on the kick drum, we have the SSLG channel, and I
mm,
have it on a really mean preset that I love. I tweaked this preset, but it's
okay.
giving us this.
Mm,
So if I take that off, it'll sound like this. Turn it back on. So it's just focusing on the kick. So I'm getting rid of the boxiness out of here around this 200, stuff like that. So we got about 8.2 dB of gain reduction in the boxy area. And then I'm turning up some of the higher frequencies. So we got about 6.6 dB of 3.7 hertz, kilohertz. And then we have the top end of the beater. It's about 9.3 dB of, what is it going to tell us? About 8K basically. So that's what's happening with the kick drum. That's why it sounds so focused. The other juicy side about this plugin is the right side. So I'm getting some really good compression out the gate. So we have, let's see, what is it? Yep, that's the release. Let's go to the ratio. So we have about like a 5:1 ratio of compression, and then we're backing down not much, as you guys can see. It's only about -2 dB, so we're not reducing a whole lot. And then we have the expanding area. So what I love about expanding versus gating, expanding gives us a nice smooth transition as the gate closes or as the door closes. It's not like it just slams shut. It's just like a nice close, open. So that's why I love expansion. So that gives us this. So you see it's just real smooth. So that's all on the SSL. So then we have, I know the Rev is waiting on this, the trigger on the kick drums. I didn't need them. I wanted them just because I wanted to have the gospel feel, that modern
mm-hmm,
feel.
mm-hmm.
So on our triggers, we have two of them. We have the Everyday from the Yosh Drum Warehouse. And then let's go over here. And then in combination with that, we have the Nick kit. So I have the legacy stuff. So if you guys are looking for these, it's just go to the Yash Drum Warehouse Legacy.
And you'll see the QR code there if you guys wanna. Oh, that's thick, bro.
So yeah, I just wanted those. So all of that in combination with my kick sounds like this. Just my kick. So it kind of makes the kit 3-dimensional now, like 3D. It doesn't so 1D. And the second reason why I actually added some of these samples is because on my drum mic setup, I only have overheads left and right and a ride cymbal. I don't have a room mic or mics when I did this recording. So I'm playing off of that and saying, all right, I have more of a 2D recording. Samples will make it sound 3D. So same thing on the snare. We have my snare raw. Then we have some verb on there too. That's Logic for you. And then we have again the G channel that transforms it, makes it sound like this. So you hear how it's coming in and out nice and smooth. That's the difference between a gate being on and an expander. So we have it more on the expansion side. So same kind of thing going on. I slammed this kind of hard, so the ratio is way more intense with 10-to-1 ratio. And then we're squashing this down.
Sheesh.
So we're squashing it down so we could get a nice, just a
Yeah.
nice attack. You know what I mean? So
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a little extreme. People are afraid to make bold moves. I don't know why, but you can make bold moves. Like, you're allowed to do
Yeah,
that. Like, if it sounds good, do it.
yeah.
So then we have the combination snare. This one is more of a squash. Let me see. What is this one doing? I'm curious to see myself now. Oh, this is Squash the Kingdom Come
Mm-hmm.
with no attack.
Man, you know what's crazy? And you know what really elevates a track? Having the right drums. And speaking of drums, if you haven't checked out Yosh's Drum Warehouse yet, you're seriously missing out. We connected with Yosh, a 7-time Grammy Award winner, and we packed over 600 plus multi-sample sounds that work with any DAW and are perfectly formatted for Trick or Two. We're talking tons of snares, kicks, toms, and so much more. You name it, it's in this sample pack. So whether you're on Logic, Ableton, Pro Tools, Cubase, Bitwig, whatever you got, it's all here. It's ready to take your production to the next level. Seriously, go grab it right now. gospelproducers.com. All right, back to the show.
So what you did right there, you duplicated the snare. This is your main snare. You duplicated it, and then you just slapped the snot out of it with a compressor, basically. You're parallel compressing your snare in just on a different channel, kind of like it's not busting it out to a compressor.
Right.
You duplicate it. So what's the science behind that? Why you would do that versus just parallel compressing it, just sending it out to a bus with a compressor on it? Why duplicate it?
Yeah, I duplicated it. Y'all gonna be mad at my answer. It's just convenient. It's just the convenience.
It's just convenience.
Yeah, I mean, because again, this is from tracking. So I literally just took the snare and just hit boop, duplicated it, and then just
squashed it.
So yeah, but be careful with this with phase. Like, don't be oblivious to phase. You can create phase issues. So the one way to bulletproof yourself on phase is go ahead, go to your utility, go to gain, mono, and then just slap that. Yeah, flip just just in case. But I didn't have any issues on mine, so I didn't need it.
But that's a good point. Sometimes it's just about speed. It's not always about a reason. And I just wanted to probe your mind to make sure that it wasn't anything different, because I do a lot of things like that. Just duplicate it and just move on because you're trying to work fast.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this template has been law, and this template has been law for any of my gospel sessions. It's more refined now, but it's still the same blood and guts. So that's that. And so then we have 3 snare triggers from the warehouse. Go to the Legacy. We have the Vinny, the Slate, and the Joy. They probably have different names, so you have to listen for them. But these are the Legacy joints. So the first snare is this. Ring.
Yeah, that's that Joey. Yeah.
So lots of ring from that one. Then we have the Joey as well.
Oh, that Joey right there. Yeah.
That's
the first one was the Vinny, right?
Yeah, that's Vinny.
Yeah.
And then I put my own little sample in there. So all 3 samples give us this. Now it's very low in retrospect to my acoustic snare.
Woo!
I mean, it's majority of my snare that's carrying it. You only hear the ring of the samples, but you hear the attack and the realness from my snare.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is again attributed to a good recording. Because if I take the samples out of my kit, and then we just solo the drums, I mean, we're gonna get a pretty good sound.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's all me. That's
yeah. No, that's clean.
So I just, again, style preference, I wanted them in there. I was like, I want that sound.
Woo. But yours is still prevalent. It's still sitting on top of all of that, and you're getting that crack and that ring and that weight from the samples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it cuts through because you got how many? Well, I know you got like 1,000 other tracks under all of that that's trying to cut through.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I mean, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like that's light work. So
Jeez.
yeah, my Chastity, she gave me some light work on this session. Like the BGVs wasn't nothing
Yeah.
out of this world this time
Crazy.
around. Usually I would have 40 track BGVs.
Right.
So she gave me some light work. So it was pretty easy. So that's what's going on there. Tom's, I have to kill you guys for showing you this after. So I got all of your IP addresses. I got it in my notepad. I see everybody. So after this, I'm coming after everybody and
This guy.
take you out. Nah, on on the toms, it's a three chord fold. All right. So one good playing. The way I'm hitting the toms is the first thing. I can't express that enough, guys. It's literally how you hit the drum. So first chord of the 3-chord fold, performance. Listen to how the toms are being hit. Even. You can look at the transients and tell.
Yep.
The second thing is the recording. So if I get this into, there we go, reasonable, transient, you can see they're all kind of consistent. Got a good recording. The recording of the toms are good. You see what I'm saying? So that's dry. There's nothing on the toms. That's a little bit of the reverb from the bus, but we can turn that off. There we go. So we're getting a good recording. That's the next thing, and then finally we can get to the mix. So it's how we have to do a whole nother video on how to hit drums. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's a science to it, like the touch, and then the plugins will respond to how you played. So we have the SSL G channel. It's gonna be a little monotonous, guys. So we got the G channel on the toms as our first line of defense. Now I'm using the G channel because it's giving me the nice, say it with me, expansion. So the expander is working in our favor to add or give us the illusion of we cross-faded each tom after it was hit. Listen to how the fade is on each one as I go across the rack toms. See there? So it's in order of how the drums were hit and they respond. The plugins respond. So I'm using the same plugin on each tom. So a hack for you guys, if you do have the G channel from Waves, a hack for you is start with the rack tom preset. That'll save your life. Now that's not Bible. You will have to tweak it. So I've tweaked it. They give you maximum release on this and they just let it ring loud and proud. Not on this type of record. Maybe on a Dilla record or something. Hip hop, fine. But on this one, no. We want clean, transparent toms. So use the rack tom setting, and then on the floor tom, you can use, for you guys to take home for leftovers, is use the floor tom preset and work from there. This will get you some really good tom tones. So then after that, we go into CLA drums. Well, we have the virtual mix rack, but it's just saturation. Saturation is nice. But after that, then we go into CLA drums. This is why I said I was going to shoot everybody after this, because this is a gym. It's going to do even more work for us to make us sound like pros, and we are pros. So let's hit the space bar on the CLA. Hear that? Now it makes it sound like we're at a stadium, like we just arrived at an award show. So then last but not least, we have the SSL EQ. I went to this because because of all of the other instruments that the drums has to play together with, I had to brighten up the toms even more. So that sounds like this. And you can feel that attack difference. Without it, on, it's like getting meaner subtly. Cool. We got the toms. Then the hi-hats. This is fail-safe for me. The virtual mix rack from Slate is a blessing. So I've done the wrong way to do this. Stay with me. You're technically supposed to EQ first and then go into a compressor so the compressor doesn't have to fight. I actually did not do that. I went to a compressor first to compress the whole sound as is. I don't mind this compressor taking in all the heat because I used a pencil mic on the hi-hat and I did a roll-off on that mic. Therefore, I'm already getting an affected sound before it even hit the DAW. So I can go into a compressor first. If I used a SMB or any other type of dynamic microphone and I didn't do a roll-off, then the EQ would be first, but it's not. So compressing kind of hard on the hi-hat. Let's go to where we're grooving. Oh, it's not as hard as I thought. So we're getting a nice amount of compression here. I thought it was going to be more deadly, but it's a template, so it makes sense. And you can hear the compressor working with that snare kind of jumping a little bit. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of jumping up, but it's controlling the focus on the hi-hat. Then we have the Neve here rolling off to about 160. This says 135, but 160-ish, 135. Rolling off the low here even more, so it's more focused. So if I turn this off, you can hear more low, and you'll need headphones for this for sure. Turn it on. It just takes away the mud, the focus from the kick drum, and focuses on the hi-hat. That's all that's happening there. So on the overheads, we are in a bus. So nothing is really happening on the channels itself. We're on the overheads bus. So we're going to come over here. And then same approach. I rolled off on my overheads as well. So I went into a compressor first. What's up, sis? Let's follow the overheads. So notice I'm getting a good capture of the entire kit. Like just grooving, you can hear and feel the drums. So I rolled off over here on the Neve to about, again, 160. Let's turn this off and let's listen to the overheads. The overheads sound juicy. Let's go over to where we got crash, crash, and fills and fills. See there? Nice and full. I almost wanted to keep the overheads like that because they sound so good raw, but we got to make space for the rest of the instruments and the sonics of the record, so we did a roll-off. So it kind of makes it sound like the drums are further away, but that works in our favor because our direct signal stuff, the hi-hat, the snare, the kick, all of those are now going to get pushed to the front, and the overheads are going to take a back seat and just focus on the cymbals. So all of that combined gives us this. So you see how it's allowing the direct drums, especially those toms, they're more focused. If you don't roll off as much on your overhead, sometimes they can consume the rest of your drum kit. So you just got to really be intentional about mic positioning and recording.
Yo, I hope you enjoyed this exclusive clip from our Mix Monday live streams. We do these live on Monday nights, so make sure you grab the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it when we go live. If you want to check out more of these, check out this playlist right over here. And if you're interested in taking your mixing or production to the next level, check out the templates and the links that we have below. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.